What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745. And yes, I am back. I actually got back last night. So what I wanted to do is make a video on the new alternate costumes for Mayday Parker. Many of you are going to be more familiar with her than I am, but I did have some time with the amazing Spider-Girl costume. And so what we're going to do is basically briefly go over the changes, then unlock her new costume and try her out in PvP. First of all, she has a blaster for 32 CP and a scrapper for 45. What's new with these costumes is basically giving her thirst for vengeance, chance to pre-counter webbed attackers, and web slingshot is now stealthy. On the surface this looks pretty good, and the costume is great by the way. The fact that there is a scrapper costume is also good, especially if you have a level 15. With that specifically in mind, I could see her making a good team for Spider-Man Noir, Rocket Raccoon, or even Union Jack. Star-Lord's another great team up. But besides the new costume, she also got a brand new custom AISO, Rattling Maneuver. This says Magnetic Maneuver gains Rattled. What Rattle does, for those of you who may not know, is it causes extra damage from counter and follow-up attacks. So talk about those previous team-ups being great. This makes them even better. That's why it's an instant buy, no questions asked for me. Then as far as Immunion's Eye, I do actually like this. The only problem is 96 gold doesn't seem like that much of a sale. However, if I'm able to buy it, I will make a video on it. Like I said, it's very interesting to me, I wouldn't mind having it, and I do like that special functionality. So we'll see what happens and if I can end up getting it. But right now we're going to move on to the team page, check out the costume really briefly, and we already know we're getting them both. The reason for that is because I have extra CP and we have every hero and every costume in the game. If you're wondering whether she's worth it or not, especially if you're limited on CP and you have other heroes to buy, well, that's what we're going to try to accomplish in this video, finding out if it's worth it. Currently on her normal costume we have phased frequencies and collateral damage. Right off the bat we lose one of those EISO slots. She was already phenomenal and I liked her with her 2 EISO, so that's kind of a drawback right there. Like I previously mentioned, I do like the look, and we're going to equip her as a blaster for now. We'll definitely try her out as a scrapper once we hit level 15, but for now let's see how this costume stacks up against her original blaster class. That's going to be the true test. Alright, so we'll fast forward to after we have this costume set up, and we get right into a battle. For our first team up, we're going to use Victor Mancha, and then we'll change it up after this. The enemy team has pretty high health and Spidey Noir plus Iron Fist, so it should be a decent test. We begin with our Magnetic Maneuver, which does have Rattled, and then we'll use an Impact Webbing on the enemy agent. That should web everyone on the entire enemy team, and so we'll see if we get a preemptive counter. Iron Fist of course has the Heart of Sho-Lao, so he's kind of a different case. But we do get away with a Deathly Freeze Ray counter, and so that was pretty awesome. However, the enemy agent fires a Black Roscoe, and that triggers Beat It. He also gets the Relentless Rapier to counter, and another Beat It proc. Alright, well, our agent's pretty banged up, but at least Amazing Spider-Girl gets to go once again. And with her next attack, we're going to use her level 9 on the enemy agent. Well, I'm happy to see some things haven't changed. She easily knocks him out. Plus, we are still using collateral damage, so we get that proc as well. Victor's going to lay in a Spidey Noir, and a Relentless Rapier follow-up means his end. Okay, so we may not see that preemptive counter just yet, but we do see she still packs her same old punch. So that's one good benefit. The costume looks nice on her as well, but I still hope we get the Scarlet Spider in his hoodie, just as a side note. Alright, well for this second match, we're going to try her out with Magneto, who I have been asked about quite a few times. And as I've said, he's going to be a fantastic team up. This team may be a little bit weaker, but we're going to face another opponent after this. So either way, I'm hoping to see a preemptive counter. Another thing that I do want to point out is Magneto automatically crits magnetized targets. So we placed exploit webs on his level 2. That's already a huge damage move. So it's going to become an easy one-hit killer. But either way, at this point, we definitely need to web the enemies. So we start on the enemy agent, and we almost get a knockout. That is, with our follow-up. Then we'll go ahead and web hybrid. I did this knowing that he's a tactician, but we also knew we were going to basically negate his extra attack. And either way, we're just working on webbing and trying to get a preemptive counter. Then with Magneto, we did a shield as a quick action because of the quick and powered ISO 8. And now we'll use our level 2 with exploit webbing on Volstagg. This move stuns, but it also does a lot of damage. And there it is, critting Volstagg for over 50,000 damage. So yes, as you can see, Magneto without a doubt is a great team up for Spider-Girl. Or the Amazing Spider-Girl, or the Amazing Spider-Woman. After this Deathly Freeze raid, the enemy agent's pretty much done for. And following that, we'll use the Repelled Uppercut on Hybrid. He ends up living, but not for long. He's going to use Agony. And then following that attack, he takes Absorb Energy and a Deathly Freeze Ray counter. So, with the Amazing Spider-Girl, we'll just use her level 2 and finish this one off. Now in the next one, I can guarantee you that you'll get a preemptive counter. Also, in this match, I'm going to give you more of my opinions on this costume, and specifically what's wrong with it. First of all, we got lucky and we happen to be facing another Amazing Spider-Girl, but ours gets to go first. After our quick action, we're going to go ahead and use our level 2 on the enemy agent. He also fires the Grace Note as a preemptive counter. But either way, the entire enemy team is now webbed. Then the Amazing Spider-Girl uses her magnetic maneuver, and she can't attack because of Tangled Web. We get yet another turn with May, so we're going to use our level 9, and here you see she preemptively counters herself. That's at least what appeared to happen, though I don't think she took any damage. We still get to knock out their enemy agent, but that was just the first sign of what peculiar things were to come. The enemy team, by the way, their preemptive counters went off without a hitch. But here you can see she doesn't have any signs of her hitting herself, so she must have dodged. Well, we just chalked that up as a fluke and moved on. Now unfortunately, the enemy beast has the covert E-ISO, but also sadly for him, we have exploit webbing on our level 2. So yeah, you're seeing how devastating this pair can be. Following that though, the enemy Amazing Spider-Girl preemptively counters herself, and she does take damage. Now speaking from further experience with this character, or this costume, she'll preemptively counter herself, as well as her teammates. I very rarely proc it on the enemy team. I hit myself way more often, and we're getting that at the loss of an E-ISO. Well, because of that, I would have to say this costume is a pass. The only way I would even think about getting it in its current state is if I had her at level 15, bought the Scrapper costume, and then tried her out, you know, maybe with Spidey Noir, Rocket, Union Jack, Star-Lord, something like that. But first of all, she needs to stop preemptively hitting her own teammates and herself. And secondly, the E-ISO choice is still difficult. I love having collateral damage, as well as the unavoidable E-ISO. And just think, a new Blaster E-ISO is coming out as well. Like I said, it's definitely not worth it right now, and it may never end up being worth it. She was already too amazing and powerful to begin with. So hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you don't have extra CP, or some strange filling inside to collect them all, then you don't even have to worry about this ult. At least not in this current state. And that's all I have to say about the Amazing Spider-Girl alternate costume. I hope this video helped, or I hope you enjoyed it, preferably both, and I do want to thank you all for watching. I also want to ask you to please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck and take care.